Hi everyone, I just wanted to do an intro video introducing myself to the channel. My name is Karina and I'm the person behind Wisconsin Backyard Birding. So just a little background, I've been bird watching probably 12, 13 years maybe. I actually started really bird watching and taking photos and video since we purchased this property in 2011. What I really always wanted to do is have a bird watching YouTube channel. I have been wanting to make videos of just like information video type videos, like the baffles I use, the camera gear I use, the food I use. The first thing I wanted to touch on though is the video where you saw where I used hot pepper in the bird seed. That's the first time I've ever done that. And I've never had to do that until now, where the squirrels have found a way to get into my bird feeder even with the baffle, and I'll explain why. It's not that the baffle doesn't work, it's where the bird feeder is placed. So I wanted to touch on that as well, is the reasons, some reasons why your bird feeder baffles are not working. So bird feeder baffles do work. I've been using them for several years now, never had a problem, never had squirrels get into the feeders where there's baffles until now, and I'll show you why. So all it's going to take is moving that bird feeder. So again, my name is Karina, and I'm the person behind Wisconsin Backyard Birding. I absolutely love bird watching. I love birds. I can bird watch all day long if I didn't have other stuff to do. So I'm hoping to feel better, that I can do some more informative vlogs for you this week. Like I said, my camera gear, the bird seed I use, and right now I think I'm going to do the placement of my bird feeders with baffles and show you the baffles that I do have. So hopefully it helps you in trying to keep the squirrels out of your feeders, because bird seed is not cheap and they will eat all your bird seed. So let's go over this and show you what I've done. Okay, so here you see a baffle. Here's my bird feeder, and what I've been having trouble with, and the reason the squirrels have been getting in this feeder even though it has a baffle, I just moved the feeder back a little bit. It was over here. As you can see, I got something there to feed the squirrels, but there's nothing in it right now. But this feeder station I had closer over here. And over here you can see we have a maple tree here. And some years back, we actually had all the branches cut down because we were going to take this tree down, but it didn't work out. But all the branches coming out of the tree were all cut down, so there was nowhere for the squirrels to climb onto and jump to the feeders. There's a up there somewhere, red-bellied woodpecker. While I was doing the vlog over there, red-bellied woodpecker was in the feeder here. So I'm easily distracted by birds, so if I'm doing a vlog, I might be distracted by birds and let you know. So anyway, this maple tree now has branches that have grown out. You can see the branches here. And a squirrel has climbed, like crawled onto the branches as far as they can without falling off, because the thinner they get, they just kind of bend and become flimsy. So the squirrel has found a way, found a branch that they can climb up, and then from there hop onto the bird feeder. So they've managed to figure that out. One squirrel at least. I don't think they all figured it out, but one has. So that's why, even though I have a baffle over here, the squirrel has been able to get on this feeder here. That's the only reason. I have had this bird feeder here for a couple of years now, and it's the first time this has happened. So now that I saw what they're doing to get onto my feeder, I moved it back a little bit, but now I have to recognize anything that the squirrels can climb on and then jump onto the feeder. So here's the rule of thumb with baffles. The reason they might not work for you is because you have them too close to a structure that the squirrel can jump from. So this antique milk jug is probably about 6 feet away from here. It's kind of iffy where if the squirrel will make it onto the bird feeder. If anything, the squirrel would have to claw onto this or try to make it up there. They're not going to make it to this side from the milk jug there. So as you can see, I have another bird feeder stand with the baffle down there. Winters are a little rough and because the bird feeder poles have stabilizer feet at the bottom and they bend in, and when they bend in, it's okay if they're standing up straight, but once the ground becomes soft, they tend to just kind of lean over and that's the problem I've been having. So I need to get stabilizers at the bottom that have 4 feet around them. Not 4 feet in length, but 4 stabilizers around it so they don't bend in. So anyway, so that's why that squirrel has been able to get on this bird feeder, but it was also closer this way. So now I moved it back a little bit and I'll see where I stand from that. Now when I put the hot sauce on there, that, like I said, it was the first time I did that, and I read up on it. It's because they actually sell hot bird food now to keep squirrels away. I think it's made from coals, and some people use it and they swear by it, and they said it doesn't hurt the birds because birds are not mammals. But somebody also commented, and I want to thank you for that, I think it was Slower, mentioned that the capsium in hot stuff hurts the bird's eyes. So it intrigued me to Google up on it more. Now I'm not I don't know the ins and outs of that. I'm not going to swear. I don't know the testing of it. So, but I can say I've never had to use hot food as long as I have baffles on my feeders. This was the first time I used it, and only because, like I explained, the squirrel figured out how to get onto the feeder. So I'm hoping they over jump this one. But as you can see, I don't have any hot seasoning in there. I used cayenne pepper that one time, and the birds were coming after it and they were eating it. The squirrels never came back on it until the cayenne was gone. But this is a fresh load of food now. I've got the bag I use comes with like sunflower seeds and peanuts that are already shelled out, and I also use these little suet pellets, and I mix those in there for the woodpeckers, and I put a little well in there and put some peanuts in there for the bigger birds. But I'll go over food and stuff in another video, but I definitely wanted to go over baffles to maybe help some of you out there that are not having any luck with your baffles. Now in the spring and summer, this is our yard out here. This is our backyard. It goes way back there. I have bird feeders usually put out the back there, and I have 2 or 3 of these green baffles. I also have a baffle that fits around a 4x4 because I used to have a 4x4 bird stand out there. But yeah, my baffles have always worked for me. So if you're not having any luck with your baffles, the rule of thumb is keep them anywhere from 8 to 10 feet away from structures that they can jump off and reach your feeders. So I've always kept it about 10 feet away from this tree, but now that the branches are filled out, they're able to jump off of those. So when I have them out there, I have them in the complete open where there's no structures around for the squirrels to try to jump off of and onto the feeders. So I never have a problem with my feeders out there that have baffles on them. So now this baffle right here, the bottom of it is about 3.5 feet off the bottom. You also want to be mindful how high or low you want to put this baffle on the pole, because you can adjust the height of it. The top of the baffle is almost 5 feet from the ground. So the height I have it right now, they've never been able to jump from the ground on top of it. So the lower you put it, you have to be mindful that they might be able to jump from the ground to the top of that baffle and easily make their way to your bird feeder. So yeah, baffles have always worked for me. So if you're going to put your bird feeder next to a fence with a baffle, it's not going to work, because they'll just climb on the fence and then jump to your bird feeder. So again, put your baffles at least 8 to 10 feet away from structures, which include trees, fences, any house structures. Like I said, like something like that they can climb onto and then jump from there. Like this hose thing that you reel a hose on, they could jump up there and jump off of it. So you have to be mindful of structures around your baffles. So I hope that helps. Some of you that use baffles and they don't work for you, I hope that helps you. So just keep in mind 8 to 10 feet away from structure, any type of structure a squirrel can climb on top of, and then jump from there to your feeder. So I'm hoping this is going to work. As long as this works and my baffles are working, I will never use hot bird seed. Yeah, I was really uncomfortable when I did use it that one day, not knowing for sure if it would hurt their eyes or not. So as long as my baffles are working, I'm not going to use hot bird seed, cayenne pepper, you know, things like that. They work, but I don't know for sure the testing and all that. I don't want to take a chance on hurting my little birds back here. Yeah, that's not something I want to do. So another thing I wanted to go over, the type of bird feeders you have. So I have this one hanging off the maple tree. It's empty because I don't have any more sunflower seeds or bird seed. I had regular wild bird seed in there, and I'll go over all that when I go over the bird seed that I use. But I just have this one hanging off the maple tree. And this type of bird feeder, when you have a long string or wire like that, it's hard for the squirrels to just climb down that and get to the bird. They do get to it, but they have to fight for it. They have to stretch themselves upside down to get to this. I see flies already. It is March, but yeah. So also the type of bird feeders you use, you might want to get some that have like umbrella type tops on them that are going to be hard for the squirrels to just climb down on. So we'll talk about, I have all kinds of feeders, and we'll talk about more of that at another day this week, hopefully. But right now it's about 40 degrees and it's March 5th. The birds are out. I can always tell when it's going to be an active bird day. Like yesterday it was cloudy, the birds, I didn't see too much at the beginning of the day, and it was just kind of quiet. This morning I could tell right away it was going to be active, and the only reason they're not coming to the bird feeder is because I'm standing here. So yeah. And this bird feeder, this is my kitchen window right here. I can look right out the window, see what's coming to the bird feeder. And I'll go over my camera gear as well, not in this video, but this little thingamajig here holds my action camera. I don't have GoPros. I'll show you the type of cameras I use. They work very well and they're not as expensive, but I put my action camera on here, and so it takes the video of the birds here. And I have a tie wrap holding the strings of the bird feeder, because it holds it in place where the strings are on the side, not right in front of the camera. So yeah, a lot to think about when you're trying to take video and stuff like that from a hanging bird feeder like this. So yeah, I absolutely love bird watching. I hope to bring more informative vlogs to you. And like in May, I'm hoping to go to a place where the warblers migrate to. So I'm hoping to show you a lot more. And the name of the channel, Wisconsin Backyard Birding. Most of my birding is done here in the backyard through the summer and the winter. But sometimes we'll go beyond the backyard. We'll go to parks or something like that. So I hope you're enjoying this channel, and I want to thank you so much for watching my videos. Yeah, I've always wanted to do a YouTube channel on just birding because I love it so much. It's such a passion for me. When I started off birding, all I did was take photos, but now in the last few years I've gone into videos. So all right, I'm gonna go ahead and set up my action cam, and then because I want to take some video today, and then I'll show you what it looks like once I have it up. I thought I'd just show you quickly my action camera setup and what I do to take a video from the bird feeder. So this is my action camera. Again, it is not a GoPro. You can see it's kind of dirty here, but the lens is in here, so that's okay. I can't, for the life of me, I can't think of the name of it right now, but I will leave the link to the things I have here in the description below if you want to check them out. I have two of these type of cameras, and I have a third action camera where the sound is not that good, so I use that one for slow motion video, where I can turn off the sound and put music to it or something. So this is just the guard for the lens there. And this foam here is a wind guard, a noise guard. So as long as this is on, you won't hear that much wind noise. Okay, and this here is just a power pack. It has two USB ports, and this little micro USB is for charging it. So all I do is hook this up to my action camera, and it gives it longer battery life. And then I just put this in this little baggie and hang it on the bird feeder. That's mud. Trying to straighten out the stabilizers on my bird stand. So yeah, without the power pack, this can run on a full battery, run about 2 hours. So I have a SD card. I'll go over all that when I go over camera gear, how big my SD cards are. But SD card I have in there right now will go for almost 6 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and hook this up, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's on there. Okay, so I have my action camera set up now. It's screwed on there. You can see the cord going to my power supply in the bag here. I just hang it up there and I just let it roll. So I'll be back in about 6 hours to pick it up, and I usually just go through all the video, edit any dead spots out, so I can bring you nothing but bird action. So yeah, sometimes a 6 hour video might bring you a half hour of bird action, might bring you more. It's hit or miss, whether it's a busy day at the bird feeder. So I hope you enjoy this video, and stay tuned for whatever birds we capture for today. Oh, and just to let you know, now that it's March, you might start seeing some migratory birds. Just a couple days ago, we got our first robin, so we've been getting robins every day. Today we got our first grackle, and for about a week now we've been getting red-winged blackbirds. So exciting to see. March gives me hope of warm weather, and so yeah, so happy birding and enjoy the video.